just capsulize what happened there. I didn't realize that.
Well, you'd have to know how naive I was at barely 19. Just turned 19 when I got like 4 days when I went to service. But they would swear you in, and they would take all of us young guys into a room, and they would say, okay, raise your right hand, step forward to pledge allegiance, take the oath to be in the military. And 3 guys did not step forward. And the FBI was there in their blue suits, and they arrested him immediately. And I think that, as I remember, he actually handcuffed him in the hallways, and they took him to jail immediately. It was for a 19-year-old naive kid that never been done much of anything anywhere. I was like, holy crap! I mean, it was a strange time in our history. I started to realize this is serious crap. This is serious stuff. So.
Yeah, and then as you review history, and anybody that knows me knows that there's probably not a person breathing more than me that hates politics more than me. I just don't get into it, But because that was my war, I understood the sentiment at least anyway. I mean, people were mixed up about some going to Canada. Was it
well, actually,
was it the right war to even have?
As I said in my blog, I kind of admire the guys that, I fought the war and stuff and got shot, but the guys that had the kahunas to go to jail for what they believed, whether you believe, agree with them or not, it would have been easier to go to Canada and not step forward and get arrested. So I have mixed emotions about that, but I don't hold any grudges against anybody for doing anything, because I'm just glad I got back alive.
Well, whether you serve or not, is especially when there's a draft like there was in 68 and 69 for our war, it's pretty much the luck of the draw. There's nothing fair about it. It's just the luck of the draw. I happened to be a freshman in college near Kansas City when that draft came out, and I was on the college radio station, and my job that night was to read the draft numbers one by one until they were all read. So I actually read my draft number on the air. It was 170, 170. Now, because I was college exempt, by the time I got out and I graduated, I didn't have to go to war like my buddy did, But I'm pretty sure I would have done the same thing he did. If my number would have come up and I'd have been drafted, even if I didn't agree with the war, if your country calls you, you go. You go. And then the rest of us keep our fingers crossed that you come back. But we know that some don't. Brent he sloughed that off, but he was wounded twice in action, a Purple Heart recipient. And if you are a veteran in this room tonight, raise your hand. God bless you. How about that? God bless you. The Navy. One of the, and I've told this story before, and Brent's heard it, but one of the searing memories in my brain of that draft night that affected both of us was walking back to the dormitory after I'd read all those numbers that came up, and seeing bed sheets that the guys had hung out of their windows that had their draft numbers on a white bed sheet. And some of them would say like number 40, see in Vietnam. So for those of us that didn't serve, at least in my boots, I've always carried a little guilt because some of my buddies went and I didn't have to. And I wanted to address that in a song, especially after hearing Brent's story, and that's what this little song is all about, if you'll indulge me here. 1969, I heard the radio squawk, number 170. My number was called. I was college exempt. It kept me out of the war, though I didn't serve. I still carry a scar. Let me shake your hand. Let me say well done. I wore no uniform, never carried a gun, but I'm proud as hell of fathers, daughters, and sons. So let me shake your hand. Let me say well done. I wonder if I would have been brave like you, charging into the night, proud in the few. I feel guilty sometimes that I didn't serve. Would I have your guts? Would I have your nerve? Let Let me shake your hand. Let me say well done. I wore no uniform, never carried a gun, but I'm proud as hell of mothers, brothers, and sons. Let me shake your hand. Let me say well done. I wonder sometimes where your courage comes from when the captain screams out, fix your bayonet, son. No, all I can do is offer my hand and say thank you, my friends. You're a much bigger man. Let me shake your hand. Let me say well done. I wore no uniform, never went to Vietnam, but I'm sure proud as hell of every patriot's son. Let me shake your hand. Let me say well done for protecting this land. We should all say well done. Thank you, folks. My buddy here, Mr. Burns. Yeah, let me shake your hand. You bet. Do one